Hello again, my name is Jeff and thank you for joining me on my latest restoration from die-cast powder coating. I hope you're all keeping well in these strange times and thank you for joining me. Today we'll be restoring a Corgi Hillman Imp number 251. These were produced between 1964 and 1967. Well, this sad little chap's got broken suspension, which a lot of them do. The glass isn't up to much and there's a crack in the front windscreen, so I've ordered some new glass and some tires as they did break, and a new glass for the rear. Now it's taken 2 weeks for those to come, so this is the first part of the video where I was able to do the strip down. So we have a first little look at it. Here's a crack in the windscreen, usual 2 rivets there. Front suspension fine, back the rear one, as normal ones, a lot of these models, is broken. So we have to make a little dimple using the hole punch, just to punch a small hole into the middle of the rivet. This now allows us to drill with a small drill first of all, just to make a pilot hole. And now we can go for the larger drill just to drill out the flange. And with the flange drilled off, we can now remove the base. Now take out the seating area, and there's the little flap at the back, which makes it into an estate. Now this is what's broken on the suspension. It should be like a spring effect, but the bottom bit has snapped off. It actually flew off whilst I was doing this. I did recover it later on, which I'll attempt to repair later on. The tyres are also very brittle, so that's why I had to order some more tyres. I didn't have any 12mm tyres, so they had to come with the new glass. This is a little thing that holds the rear glass in, which I had to drill slightly. And there's all the little bits together now. Okay, so I hope you can see this. This is probably the last I've done. I have changed the glass film over now, so the next one should be better. But it did come off very nicely, the paint. And once again, I'm using the aluminium oxide. And then back from there, the usual spinning wire brush treatment with the fake Dremel and spinning wire brush. And then as usual, we'll put that into the oven now for about 10 minutes, 180 degrees, and that bakes out the impurities that are left in the metalwork. Now whilst that's in there, I'm going to use this Bondic. Comes from the dentistry trade, and this is the little bent suspension bit. I've already stuck it with some super glue just to hold it in place, and this stuff goes on as a liquid. And then eventually you use this ultraviolet light at the other end of the pen, and a bit of a gamble to see if it works, and just build up a few layers, and it sort of bonds into a sort of a thick plastic but solid. Well, with the model out of the oven now, just giving it the usual rub over with some acetone, and now we're ready to paint it with some mid blue, Electrostaticmagic mid blue. And whilst we're getting on with that, just like to thank all my subscribers, both old and new, for bearing with me. It's a bit harder now being back at work to do one every week, but I will keep them going, do one as soon as I can. And there we go, out of the oven now, and it's come out fairly nicely. Just going to do a little bit of detailing. I won't show you all of this because I'm terrible at it, but I just use this Molotow pen to put a little bit of chrome on the bumpers. And I've done the tail lights and the headlights, and that's all I can do now for 2 weeks. So we come back now very shortly after 2 weeks with all the new parts. So there you go, some nice new wheels, 12mm wheels, some new glass, and a new tailgate glass. Now I haven't been sitting around doing nothing. I have bought another light. This is another Corgi light. I've had to tap out some new holes. The original aluminium ones were corroded in there, so that's another little job to do, and that'll be hung up in the garden to join the other one. There's the swan neck bit, and still need to take this back wooden bit off as well. But now back to the job in hand. Although this is a replacement glass, it wasn't particularly shiny, but I thought, well, let's give it the Pledge Revive It treatment. So I've done that for the glass and the tailgate glass as well, so I can hang that up to dry and then go to work, and that should be dry when I get home. And then now just the tailgate glass. One last thing before going to work, I'll just give the wheels a nice buff up with some Autosol and the spinning mop on the fake Dremel. Okay, now back from work now, 10 o'clock at night, just try and get this finished. I'm now going to put in the little clip that holds the rear tailgate on. Excuse my fingers being in the way again, it's quite fiddly. It does sort of fit over a protruding part, so it does fit in. I've just super glued that in. There we go, we'll let that dry a little bit before we try it. And here's the glass in. Now the base. And the little seat back that folds forward for the luggage. Now forgive me here, don't forget this is 2 weeks later. Forgotten where this rear suspension bit goes, and let's just hope and it does hold up. So here we go, fingers and thumbs, trying to remember how to do it. It clips onto a little stalk first of all, and then you bend it over, and then that should hold it. And we just hope it doesn't snap with the Bondic plastic. And here we are, moment of truth. There we go, it flies off. At least it's sprung loaded still. But eventually push that down, and that seems to be okay, so I'm very pleased with that. Now we can go back to square one again, put in the seating area, the little flap at the back, and then hope it all goes back together. Okay, time for the false fake rivets. A little bit of super glue into the hole. First one okay. Now these are, I've tried these before putting the glue on, but you can guarantee there's always the one that doesn't go in. This is the one. Still mucking about with it, but at the end of this clip you'll hear a nice click, and that's it, it's in. So with that done, there we go, she's now finished. There's the headlights done, bumpers, also added some number plates. And there we go, suspension working again, both front and rear. But here we go, this is what she used to look like. Very sad looking chap, broken rear suspension. The glass was cracked and scratched, so I've replaced. And replaced the tailgate as well with some new glass. Okay, let's have a little look of what she used to look, or what she does look like, shall we say now. And let me say, there's the number plates. They could have been a bit straighter, it's my wonky eyes. But got the indicators on there now, bumpers, chromed, lights, door handles, new tyres, and a new tailgate. Well, I do hope you enjoyed this episode. Please join me next time. Please take care out there. Thank you very much once again. Goodbye for now. Thank you.